Before the outbreak of the Korean War in 1950, the Korean Peninsula had a rich and complex history that shaped the region's culture, politics, and power dynamics. Situated between China and Japan, Korea developed its own unique identity while also being heavily influenced by its neighbors. This period saw the rise and fall of kingdoms, invasions from outside forces, and the development of a cultural identity that persists today. To fully understand the origins of the Korean War and the current division between North and South Korea, we need to first explore the history of the Korean Peninsula before the war. The earliest known civilization on the Korean Peninsula dates back to around 2300 BCE, when the legendary founder, Don-gun, is said to have established Gojoseon, the first Korean kingdom. Over the centuries, the peninsula was home to several powerful kingdoms, including Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, often referred to as the Three Kingdoms. These kingdoms engaged in frequent warfare, but also developed rich cultures, contributing to Korea's early identity. Silla eventually unified the peninsula in 668 CE, giving rise to a centralized state and laying the groundwork for the Goryeo dynasty, 918 to 1392, and the subsequent Joseon dynasty, 1392 to 1897, which would last for over 5 centuries. The Joseon dynasty is particularly important in Korean history. It established Confucianism as the state ideology, which shaped the governance, social structure, and values of the Korean people. The dynasty saw cultural flourishing, advancements in science and technology, and relative stability, though it was not without challenges. Korea, known as the Hermit Kingdom, remained largely isolated from the outside world, fending off invasions from Japan and China throughout its history. By the late 19th century, however, the balance of power in East Asia was shifting. As Japan modernized rapidly after the Meiji Restoration in 1868, it began to look at Korea as a strategic point of interest. Meanwhile, China, weakened by internal strife and foreign incursions, struggled to maintain its influence over Korea. The Sino-Japanese War, 1894 to 1895, resulted in China's defeat and the end of its dominance over Korea, setting the stage for Japan to take control. In 1910, Japan formally annexed Korea, marking the beginning of a harsh colonial period that would last until the end of World War II. During Japanese rule, Koreans were subjected to cultural suppression, forced labor, and military conscription. Japanese authorities attempted to erase Korean identity, banning the use of the Korean language in schools and forcing Koreans to adopt Japanese names. Resistance to Japanese rule grew, culminating in the March 1st movement in 1919, a mass demonstration for Korean independence that was brutally suppressed by Japanese forces. The Japanese occupation came to an end in 1945 with Japan's defeat in World War II. However, the liberation of Korea was immediately followed by a new struggle, this time between the United States and the Soviet Union, who had emerged as the world's two superpowers. Korea was divided at the 38th parallel, with the Soviet Union occupying the north and the United States occupying the south. What was intended as a temporary solution soon solidified into a permanent division, setting the stage for the Korean War and the ongoing conflict between North and South Korea.